And so, good evening. It is the really committed group. And I did this training tonight on our Tuesday night group. And I'm going to give you the secrets. But it's not a secret. I already told you how to do it. But most people forget, and they get a few people in, sign some people in, and they just get away from doing the same thing they should always do. Okay, you go to your contact on your phone and you pull up your contacts and you scroll all the way to the bottom, and it'll tell you the number of contacts like my phone does right there. I've got 2,857. I want you to have 500 in there. So as you meet people, you always try and get, their card, their thing. You add them to your contact list. You may not know them well, but you add them. You put them in there. You're going to meet new people. You're going to talk to new people. But you got so many contacts in your phone right now. And so I want you to do the one thing. This little job description is how you become extremely successful. Everybody that does my system and teaches others, they all succeed. Every one of them. But I asked you 2 years. You're going to earn while you learn, but many of you has already earned some. But you fell into this niche that you're really not doing it right yet again. So let's get back on track of how you always do it for 2 years. Okay. And I'm going to give you the script. The real secret script, but it's not so secret. Okay. And that's that exposing to 5 people a day, 5 days a week. And if you're doing it right, this takes you no longer than 30 minutes a day. So everybody can squeeze in 30 minutes to try and, expose and create an income flow, a residual income flow, while you're accumulating wealth and building wealth. That's pretty cool. So what do I mean? And I'm going to pick on Greg, because he's on here tonight. So he's going to be the person I call. And I'm going to get my phone. And if I get him, I'm going to say the same thing. And if I don't, I'm going to leave him a voicemail message. The only difference is when I get him on the phone, I'm going to say, look, I only got a quick minute. Okay. So that way, when I go by, it won't be rude to him. Okay. But on a voicemail message, I won't say that part. I'll just use the rest of the script that I want you to use. Okay, now I'm going to assume that I'm going to get Greg on the phone. And I'm going to call up Greg. Hey, Greg. Hey, it's Bob. Look, I only got a minute. And look, but I just saw something that's amazing about gold and silver and the economic times that we have. It is just unbelievable. I'm going to text you a short video about 12, 15 minutes or something like that. And I want to see if you saw the same things that I saw when I watched that video, and I'm going to send it to you. So watch it. I'm going to call you back in about half an hour. Bye. Bingo. That's it. You get him out, you pull him up, you enter him into your app. And if you're using the app, it's the best way to do it. If you're not using the app, then you use, here's the video I told you I was going to send. And you put it as a text message with the link of the Y7K video. And it's the one in your app. It's about 11 minutes and it's real quick, real short. Bing, bing, bing. It's really powerful. And it increase their knowledge. Give them a good introduction to 7K and the possibility they need to make an income and that they need to own gold and silver and why. And they can be a member and buy it, member direct pricing. Okay, that's powerful. That's what we want. Okay, and if you call them back, here's what you do when you call them back. Okay, I'm going to do the 2 things when you call them back. Hey, Greg. Hey, man, what did you like best about that video you saw? Oh, you hadn't seen, man, Greg, I'm telling you, this is important. So look, you take time to watch that. It's only 11 minutes long, that coming, but I gotta see if you see what I see in it, man. Just watch the video. I'm gonna call you back in about an hour or so, unless you call me first. Okay, bye. That's it. You're not there to talk. You're not there to discuss. You got to demonstrate this. It's important to watch that video. And because it is, it's really important for them. They don't know it, but you and I know it. Now, that's when he didn't watch the video. Now, let's go. I do the same thing. I'm talking about, hey, Greg, what did you like best about that video? Now, you don't say, what do you think? Well, what do you do? Well, yeah, you ask, what did you like best about that video? Put some on the defense to say something negative first. Okay, that's why you do that. Okay, now he says, well, maybe, I learned something about gold and silver I didn't learn. They're going to say whatever. But he says, well, look, I got some questions about this. Oh, good. I understand. That's why I just sent you a little video to see, hey, it's important to own gold and silver. We mean buy direct. But I understand. And so I'm going to send you another video. It gives you, it's kind of like the executive summary, gives you more information. And I think it's going to answer all your questions because it answered a lot of mine. And so and then I'll call you back in an hour or so, and let's talk, okay? Or you call me, whichever happens first. Bye. Bingo. Pull him up and you send him the wealth strategies video. Now, if any of you've got some of my trainings, and I have a video that has the wealth strategies, and then next to it is a little quick thing about the compensation plan, and then there's testimonies attached to it. That's the one I like to send. But if you're using the app, you'll send them the wealth strategies video, because if you're using the app, they can click on next video if they want more information, and you can see them doing that. That's the 7K Wealth System app. That's why it's important for you to get it on your phone. But I have people doing this without the app, just using the text and the video links, the YouTube video links that I provided with these, because I got them on YouTube, so it works on everybody's phone, okay? And the links always work, okay? So what do you need in your notes pre-written? Well, you need, here's the video I told you about, with a link to Y7K, your name, and underneath your name on the text message, you're going to have 7kmetals.com/your website. And then on the longer video with the wealth strategies, and that attached to it, that YouTube link, and you're going to have your name and your phone number. They already know it because you sent them, but you're going to be going through your whole phone. So you want your name on every one of these texts that you send out with these links. And another reason is you want your name in the text and the links, because if people see your name with a link, they kind of know you're not going to be, it's not some kind of spam message that somebody's trying to get them to click on a link to kind of spam them or whatever. And so that's why you do that. And the other reason, you have your website underneath your name. That's pretty powerful. 7kmetals.com/username. Okay. So you send that. Now, what do you do on that second follow-up? Okay. Now, this is where you need to have a good relationship with your support team locally. Your first upline leader, or the person that's willing to do it with you, like Cheryl, or like Tarita, or like Stephanie, or like Kule, or like Olaf, or like, many different people that are there that are silver or above, okay, or maybe bronze. But they are are going to be able to answer your questions for your contact with you that you should not answer. Now, so here you send them the video that gives the whole picture, whole bottle of wax. And then they start having questions. Okay, that's all right. We don't want you to answer a lot of questions, because if you start answering a lot of questions, people aren't going to think they can do this just psychologically in their head. But so I don't want you answering a lot of questions. I only want you to answer questions that are obvious. And what do I mean by that? Well, I'm going to stop sharing this screen, and I'm going to share another screen, and I'm going to go to the website screen. And because remember, your website is on that email. And maybe they have, and maybe they haven't, but most likely they haven't even clicked on it. And so they might start asking questions. Now, what you need to do is be familiar with things, because don't ever do something that you haven't looked at or seen, or give something to somebody unless you've seen it and you're familiar with it. Okay. But if you scroll down to the bottom of your front page of your website, this is the public side. This is not where you logged in. In fact, I need to log out because I'm logged out. So you get to see exactly what I'm talking about. And there we go. So you log down to the bottom of your page, and you're going to find about 8 question and answers. These are the ones most common asked. If they ask any of these questions, you have a response. Oh, Greg, I understand what you say. I kind of thought the same thing. Most people do. Hey, look, click on that link there. You see my link from my website? Because I joined this thing. This was a no-brainer to me. You don't tell them. This was a no-brainer to me. I know I need to go. I know I need to show. I know I need to protect what I have. I didn't have it, but this just made great sense to me. But I understand you have a question, and some people do. And I had some of the same questions that you're asking. Go to my website, scroll all the way to the bottom, and look, there's the question you just asked me. Click on it. Okay. That's the answer. See? And so this is why you've got to know which one of these questions are, because if they ask that, you want to show them how simple the answer is, but you're not uttering it out of your mouth. You just gave them a tool, clicked, and bingo. That's duplicatable. Now, they don't think about that in that term. Remember, they're on the outside looking in. You know tons more than they do. Okay? But this is a psychological game. Networking done correct is a combination of being an expert in many different fields, or having a teacher that teaches you how to use them. That's the difference between major success and not having major success. And so I've already proven my system works 3 times. And this time I did it part-time. So I proved it worked again, and it's working marvelously again for everyone. So I do know what I'm doing. And I just say, follow the rule, follow the examples, and you will succeed. Now, you can create the system yourself, and you do it your way. That's fine. But please don't complain to me it doesn't work, because my system works. The ways that I do things work. You just got to learn how to do them that way. That's your job. And it may take you a little bit of time. It may take you a lot of time. And I'm going to give you a quick example tonight. And then you need to also kind of scroll back up, and you get them. If you've got them on your website, you scroll back up and you say, that's the real benefit of membership. It's like the Costco of gold and silver, or the Amazon of gold and silver. That's what 7K is. And we can buy at affordable prices and affordable quantities. And we know you're getting real product, no fakes, and it's all backed up. It's all guaranteed. They buy direct from the mints and NGC and PCSJ, and that's why it's all guaranteed and certified, and there's certificates of authenticity with everything. So then you say there's other benefits that we didn't even talked about, but you get travel benefits, you get savings benefits, you get you get all these world-class experts at 7K picking all the right exclusive products for you. You get to participate in the auto saver program that they talked a little bit about. But you see those 3 little videos there, save, share, earn, they take less than 4 minutes to watch. Now I know you watched a little bit longer one, but gee whiz, it's right there on the website. So you may as well look at it sometime. You got my link now. But you see at the top, there's products. Now, see, these are things you can do. And these are things that are very duplicatable. And you say, you see, let's say that first product, they got 7 cakes. So these are unique. I know you don't know anything about them. I didn't know anything about them either when I first joined, but that's okay. Look, but the key I want to show you is what they tell you about being a member and the membership benefit. See, I want you to add that to your cart. That very first product, let's just add it to it. Just make an example. Now you're not a member, so you have to check out as a guest. So check out as a guest, and look, it tells you that you're not going to be able to buy that price, that product for what we buy. Your price is going to be this because you bought on my website, and you can buy as much as product as you want on my website, but you don't get the same price as I do because I'm a member. But if you become a member, you get the member price. So on everything you get savings. And that's the whole part of being a member, like Costco, like Sam's, like Amazon Prime. Okay, that's the whole bit. Now, I'm going to exit out. I want you to exit out of the cart and that just gives you one example. Now let's look at products one more time and say they got different kind of products. They got jewelry for women, and you can make gifts. They have coin jewelry. They got all kinds, but normally they have much more jewelry than this, but they got sold out of all their coin jewelry, but they're making more and they're going to have resupply later. But here's the key. You get to buy dealer direct bullion at cost. Whatever 7K paid for it, they're going to sell it to you for. There's no market. I don't make a penny on it. And if somebody else joined 7K because you told them about it, people I don't know, they're not going to make a penny on it either. Okay, that's not where the money is made. It's Costco makes their money on memberships. Hey, you didn't know that. I didn't know that, but we learned that. And what they are doing is they don't do advertising on TV, and they pay you and me if you want to get paid. It's that simple. Okay. And so these, you can't buy at these prices unless you're a member. Now, those are prices there. And then we have a different price as member in what we call our Sound Money Wallet. And I know you don't know what that means. I didn't either. And that's a new term to you, except maybe a little bit you heard on that video. But that's okay. Well, I want you to click on that FAQ up there. Okay, you have more questions, and like I did. But if you got to have a lot of questions answered beforehand, that is okay. But they're all right there for you to see. And if you want to know about the vault, you want to know about the fees, you want to know about this, but you want to know more about the Sound Money. Well, there it is right there. And so, and now your job, each one of yours, is to make sure you've gone through this and read them. But so you're familiar with them. So if they ask you a question, you can just go to FAQ, click on that. Oh, there it is right there. Click on it and they read it. You're not to tell them the answer from your mouth. You give tools, let it answer, because all in their mind, they're starting to think as this process goes on, Bob, he just never answered a question. He just told me to click here and click there. And, I got my answers there. And he sent me a video and sent me this video. And, I figured out, I can do this and I make a little extra income. Why not? It's gold and silver. I can accumulate well. Makes sense. No wonder he called me, or Greg called me, or Neil Lunny called me. You know, that's why. Okay. Some people come to that conclusion. A lot of people do. And that's how you do it. Now, when they start asking questions about the comp plan and things like that, you're going to have to use my other videos and say, that's okay. Bob, he's our leader. He gives excellent comp plan training. You want to know how all the details work or more about it, I'll text it to you, but it's a little long because he gives step-by-step training on it. Okay. And so you'll text them a link that you got in your number 4 letter of my 7-step introduction to you getting started. It's number 4, the comp plan detail of how it works. Okay. And so you copy and paste that link, send it to them, either by text or email or whatever you want to do. Okay. So if they start answering more questions, you get them to a meeting, you get them to, you say, okay, hold on. And you get, Stephanie on the line, you get Koule on the line, whoever your support person is that has some experience and knowledge in it. And it shows again, it's not you answering the questions, and they're going to figure out in their own brain that they will have a support team too if they join. You don't have to tell them this. They will figure that out. And that's the ones that are going to be good for you, the ones that figure that out. And then you can keep going up. You can go to Pastor Gary. Most of you is in Pastor Gary's group. Or you can even go to George. You can even go to me. But, if I'm available. Okay. And so that's a support group. And each time we go up, everybody have a little different view and input to them about how good this is and why they think it's good and they should join the team and do the takeaways. What else are you doing with $500 to start an internet business, and you pay $105 a month to stay active, but you're accumulating wealth. We know you don't understand what it is, but you're going to be taught that like we were. And then if they still have questions and are not ready, I'm going to tell you what you do. This is the thing that most people don't do yet, but I try to get them to do. Okay. When you take them to your website, okay, and they're on the front end of your website like this, and you tell them to click on Get Started, and you basically say, hey, look, there's 2 memberships. This is one we recommend. It's the business builders. You get 1099 tax benefit. If you don't know what that means, we'll tell you. But it basically means the taxes you would have paid to the government is going to pay for your membership and your coin that you buy every month. Now, what better deals than that? But we'll teach you that, okay? Or you can just what we call the buyer's membership. You still get coins with each one, but here you just get, and it's a year membership. Both of them a year membership. But believe me, if you want to earn some income, you'll regret not getting a premium membership, okay? So $500 to start a business, you can make $500 a week potential. And lots of people are doing that, or extra $500 a month, or an extra $500 every other month. And, if y'all are doing that, say, hey, that's what happened to me, and it can happen to you too. Okay. Pretty cool. That's not bad. I'm not guaranteeing it will, but we're going to team up, and that's our objective, is to help you get to your first $500 check, because this is a one another business, and you'll learn it like we have learned it. Okay. You just give them messages like that from your support team. Your support team will give them those kind of messages. Okay. Now, what you're going to do then, okay, is if they still have questions, they're not ready to pick a membership, then you give them the 7ktoday.com website, because there's a lot of products that are never available here, and they're only available for coin drops and special purchase. And these are the ones that have, just tremendous value to us all. And So you give them 7ktoday.com. You give them that website. You say, go look at it. It tells you all about the company. Everything's just about the company, the products, all kind of products you're going to see that's never been in the market. And we have access to these, and you will be too. They're exclusive. We have first buying rights at nearly all of these kind of products. It's there, and if not all, and sometimes exclusive. And that's another membership benefit. But go take a look at it, and we'll talk to you tomorrow. Okay, that's for the hard person, but many times you're going to close them in this process way before that. Okay, and that is all you keep doing for 2 years until you go through every one of those persons on your phone list. You don't try to, in the beginning, when you're starting out the business, we ask you to pick out your top 25, the people you love and care about the most, give them first opportunity to say no. And then you look for the people who you feel are going to be best on your team. Well, that's fine. But now you start, everybody that joined, you take, you put them in your phone list that they're already a member in your phone list. They're on your team. You have a marking 7K and, who sponsored them, okay, in the comments right under their name. And then that's your little thing. So you just skip them and you go to the next 5 or 10. I mean, ever you're working a day like that, okay? And then you just keep doing that until you go all the way through that list. And remember, you start adding more. When you add more, you work those. And then once you get through your list, guess what? You start all over again. Okay, if you got a list of 500, 5 a day times 5 days, I asked you to do it for 5 days, is 25. 25 times 4 is 100. It's going to take you 5 months to go through a list of 500. That's why I want you to have a list of 500. And if you got a bigger list than that, that is powerful. You really gonna do well. Okay. And so what you do then is you just start all over, because you've already had some success. You've got coins. You've learned a lot. And then you call up and you say, hey, Stephanie, you remember that gold and silver company 7K I sent you a link on a few months ago? I just wanted to give you a follow. I'd like to shoot you a little quick video again as an update. And this has been working well for me. I've got some unique products I'd like to show you. I'd like to just bring you up to speed. This is working so well for me, and so many people have gotten. I think you ought to take a second look. I'm going to shoot it over to you. You take a look and let's talk. I'll be happy to talk with you. It's just an update. Okay. People's lives change. Circumstances change. And so that's why you do that, where you go through your whole list like that again. Okay. And you're going to have people join you who said no when you do that. I guarantee you. Now, guess what? You know what you do? You're adding people to your list. You're going to get those new ones you add to your list like again. And then guess what? When you go through your list again, it's going to take you about 5 months again or more. And then you start all over again and do it again. You do it 7 times. That's the number of completion. And believe me, everyone that does this in my group succeeds big time. It took over 3 years before my sister joined me, and she made so much money in the last gold and silver when she finally joined me and made more money than she even ever imagined and earned gold and silver. And she didn't join me in this one. I told her about it. I mean, the very first couple of days after our first night meeting, okay, that I called the next day after I got in over George's house. And she never even wanted to talk about it. Never even want to hear about it. Her husband had this aversion against network marketing. And so she didn't want to cause any friction. But after 3 years, she's calling me up and saying, I want to join that 7K, but I want to join that gold and silver company you in. And so, the same thing's going to happen to you. And you just keep on. That's why, and it takes you 2 years to learn the skills, attitudes, and technique. You get to earn while you learn. And if you're doing this job description the entire 2 years, and that's all you're doing. You're watching a video, one every day. If you're not doing that, then you are the one that's stopping your education. You've got to watch every video on your app. You got to watch every video in your associate training. You got to watch every video in your training center about 7K and how to do it and how to introduce it and how your website works and what all the links mean. And you watch them over again. Oh, see, if you haven't watched a video 7 times, you don't know what's in that video until you can teach that video like I can without even looking at that video. You haven't seen that video enough. So for 2 years, you're going to watch videos one a day. It's only going to take you 15 minutes, 8 minutes, 30 minutes, but you don't multitask when you're watching that video. You watch that video and that's all you're watching. I want you to spend at least 15 to 30 minutes watching a video 5 days a week. Okay. And it's better to do it at night before you go to bed when it's quiet and you can't make phone calls and you can't talk on the phone with your potential team members. Okay. And most people are doing this. They attending a training or a meeting or an opportunity like we're doing right here. And even if we have a guest on right now at this stage, I don't mind, because my training or opportunity, I don't mind telling people what it takes to be successful in this. And you get to earn while you learn. That's pretty cool. And then once you get your 2 years of Bob Reid's Millionaire 101 training and gold, silver, and networking properly done, you got the skills, attitudes, and techniques then for the next 3 to 5 years to blow it out of the water, like many of us have. Okay. Now let me give you a couple experiential examples. When we started out, we didn't, I put a couple of older people than me, George and Woodrow, on my left team. Those 4 people who had to go back to work, retired, didn't have any money. So I don't have any money. Put it on your credit card. Let's get to doing. Nothing in your life is going to change unless you change. And so they jumped in, and now every one of them are making consistent, regular income, and all of them have $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 in gold and silver precious metals that they bought and collectibles that they would have never had. They would have never saved that. But now they own it. That's accumulating wealth. And it's worth much more, at least the stated market value for it. But none of them want to sell it because they know it's going to be worth more even in the future. So it's part of diversification. I'm not talking about their bullion. I'm talking about their collectible products. Now, they all have bought bullion too that they would have never bought. So they're getting away from that paper and those annuities and those stocks and those bonds, and they've been converting it over the years slowly to assets, okay, which gain value, and it protects their wealth. And they're earning consistently more and more income. But, along came, a couple of people that were able to, jump on board, had some skills. And Wayne Clark was one of the first one, a broker. He needed income. He was doing another network marketing company about 4.5 years. It was a membership type company, but it was quite different. Didn't really have a good residual. and 4.5 years, he made about 95,000. I told him if he joined me in this, I'd mentor him, I'd help him, and we'd have him at a 6-figure income before the end of 12 months. If he would be teachable, coachable, and don't ask me a ton of questions, just do. And that means my job description. But he didn't do 5 a day. He did 30 a day. But he did it like I shared with you. And then he put me on, that guy put me on 3-way calls and answering questions more than anybody in the first 3.5 years of me doing 7K with everybody in my group. And he did that. And he was the first person to win that 100-ounce silver bar. And then we helped duplicate and build his left and right team. And we had 16 other people win that silver bar like he did. And then it wasn't too much longer later. Now, Wayne's an executive gold in the company. He became the first executive gold in 7K. And now he's off and running, and he's building his team. He's doing, and he calls me every once in a while from a little bit of advice, or maybe to do a 3-way with a big hitter. And I'm always available for him. And I attend his training, Super Saturdays that he's doing now. I helped him do his first ones. I set him up, showed him you need to do it. He didn't want to do it. I said, you got to do this. Well, he did it. Okay. And he made more than a 6-figure income. And he's going to make more than a double 6-figure income this year. But that was Wayne. I wish I'd have had more like him, but hey, he worked hard and he worked me hard. Then along came Hawaii. And I got put on the phone on February 27th with Pastor Gary. We got a guy by the name of Gary and Cheryl Toyofuku and Colleen Nakamura. And I explained the opportunity to them, answered all their questions, told them if they're ready to get to work, do this, and we can, they can succeed and help other people. And this is business people have, and they went to work. We had about 30 people in the business. In the next week or so, we did most of it by Zoom, like we're doing a Zoom right now. Here, it's past midnight for me. Okay. And it was past midnight. And we put a lot of people, in the business. And then Pastor Gary said, hey, look, Bob, we need you to come over here and take a trip. I ended up coming over to Hawaii, and I was going to come over for 5 days. And y'all know the rest of the story. I mean, we were there, we extended our trip, we stayed a total of 8 days, and we had 305 people join us, memberships, and in that 8-day period. And now you'll have almost 1,300 people in that business under Jim. And Jim, who was the first one in almost a year, he got all motivated and he became a silver. And he has a left leg. So we have a right leg and a left leg over there. Jim's at the top. But Tarita became the first goal in our group in Hawaii. And she's a leader. And she stepped up to the leadership. And y'all, a lot of you went to Salt Lake City. Then you also went up to Idaho. You kicked the tires. Many of you were at the Founders Leaders Getaway because you won the trips. That's powerful. Well, see, the Founders Leaders Getaway before that, the last year, was us, me, and all of Wayne's people. And that was it. Well, we could have been just all our group, because I had part of my other group, Wayne and the rest of them, in the second group, and also some of my New Mexico and others in that second group. And so if I would have all been together, it would have been just us, none of the other leaders. But it's better to mix it up a little bit. You get to meet other people, and I was so glad that happened like that. I just, miss missing the other. But here I'm doing that support work with everybody in Hawaii, like I'm doing right now. And now here comes along last week. Now, I don't know how many of you are on the call Monday night, and you should be on the call every Monday night. And if you miss it, you should watch the recording because they're all recorded. That's part of my job description, by the way, is that you're supposed to be doing these things to stay up to date, stay up to speed. Nobody's going to give you demerits if you don't, and spank you or punish you, put a dunce hat on you. No, it's not that way. This is a self-motivating, entrepreneurial, available, success is available for those who want it and make time for it. Okay. And so I'm not going to tell you about the other people. They have full-time employment in Arizona, Colorado, New Mexico. They run tax services. They run one of the largest development companies, and they work long hours. But they built up consistent income. As Danny Clement says, he fits it in the cracks of the day, but he does something consistently every day, here and there, all throughout the day for his 7K business, because it's going to give him a residual income, and he's accumulating wealth, and he understands that. His job is just a job. It's no guarantees it's going to be there 4 years from now, and he knows that. Okay, so what's the recent example? If you notice, there was a young lady called Kimberly Wiley. She just appeared in as number 3 in the contest. Well, I'm going to tell you about Kimberly because they didn't even know who she was in corporate. Kimberly Wiley joined late on August the 2nd, that night, way late at night. I went through everything with her, and I wanted to know if she was serious and she wanted to do it, and if she was coachable and teachable. She had a little networking experience. She's done networking for a few years here and there, but never made any real serious money at it. She's a realtor, but she, real estate's not doing that well. Okay. And so she, I gave her all the situations we did, and she said, I'm teachable, I'm coachable. She started with her premium. She came in, that night, late that night, before she went to bed, we went through kind of the little bit of vision, kind of stuff I'm doing with you right now. And she said she's ready to do this. And she got her business family packed, put her husband in, put her company in. And so she's ready to go to work the next day. Well, she just went to work doing what I'm telling you. She said, I don't know anything about the comp plan on it. I said, great. I don't want you to know. I want you to do what I just got through telling you. You call up people, you tell them what I said, and you send them the information. You go through it like this. But anyway, long story short, she joined, and she's number 3 in the contest. At the end of that week, she gave I called her up when she was number 7. And I said, look, I don't want to detract you from what you're doing, and you're doing really great, because we're on our way, to making your first $500 check. In fact, you're only a cell away from making your first $500 check. But I want you to go in your dashboard, and I want you to look at something. And I said, look over there. We've got a contest going on. You're number 7. Now, this contest started July 1st. You're number 7 in the whole company. You're in 7th place. You already, if you stay there, you already win a very valuable prize. I want you to click on those contest details and look at it. I went through those contest details with her. And then you know what she told me? She said, Bob, I want to be first. I said, well, I didn't want to detract you. I just want to let you know there's a contest going on. So it is important for you to know this. And I want you to be first, and we're going to help you to work on that. She went to work. She became a copper. At the end of her first week, she wasn't even in a full week, and she's 3rd in the contest on the Monday night call. Today, she's number 1, and she's on her way to becoming a bronze. That young lady has learned as she goes, and she was teachable and coachable, and she just came in and said, I just don't understand why people don't join this thing. I said, don't even let it affect you, because that's their problem, not yours and mine. All we do is present it. All we do is give them the information. We can come back to them later. We're looking for the ones that see it. And I want you to go through. And she is doing many contacts. And I did the same thing with her that I did with you. So how bad do you want it? How bad do you want it? This company is only 4.5 years old. And it's going to be a mega giant company in the industry. How bad do you want it? They're going to open around the world. You got a continuous comp plan on your left team and your right team. You're going to get help the entire time. How bad do you want it? My system works. It's just up to you to do the system. And I encourage every person to learn how to do it the way I teach it.